Hey everyone, how you doing? Today I'm going to be repurposing some decorative pieces that I still like, but they don't exactly go with how I'm decorating. So stay tuned. We're going to change things that we still love, but give it a new facelift. Get ready. We're going to have fun. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I am excited to bring you another video having to do with Mackenzie Child. As you can see, I am completely obsessed with the look. And so what I'm doing today is I'm taking things that I have had in my home and I'm giving it new life, if you will. A lot of times I have things that I really like, but I wished I could update them, you know, into something that I've seen that I want to throw a spin on to them, aka Mackenzie Child. So that's what I'm going to be doing today with 4 different pieces. Now, I'm doing this video as well because I remember when I was just starting out as a young wife and mother, and we just didn't have very much money at all. Hamburger was my best friend, and I learned to make many, many dishes from it. And so I know what it's like to want to have things that are popular in decor or something that you really like that's in decor. And I also know what it's like when you don't have money to buy the things that are new and what you would love to decorate your house with. With that being said, I want to show that there may be things, and when I'm showing you the things I have, just think of things in your home that you could revamp into something that you would love to show in your decor now. So let's get started. What I have here, and this is all from Hobby Lobby, okay? Hobby Lobby, now as far as I know, and I have looked at Michael's and I've looked at Joann's. Now if I'm missing something, please tell me. Leave a comment below. I cannot find anything that resembles Mackenzie Child other than Hobby Lobby. And here you have tissue paper, and this is in the party section, you know, for wrapping gifts. They have it in the polka dot and in the stripe, okay? This piece is scrapbook paper, so that's in your scrapbook section. And the ribbon, some of it is in fabric, and this is from the Harlequin is from the wedding section. Okay, so I'm going to be using these different elements for my revamping. Got my glue gun, that's ready to go. So let's move this. And now I've already looked at the ears. This lamb came from Joann's 3 years ago at Easter time. And I put it out, and I think it is just precious. Very soft, I just love it. But I want to do something with it that I don't necessarily have to keep on it if I want to change it to look like it looks now again. So what I'm going to do is, and I will show you a picture that's in the Mackenzie Child catalog, and this is where I got the idea. So here I'll put up the picture. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this one, I went ahead and I just put some of the ribbon, some of this Harlequin ribbon. And what's nice is, being fabric, you can cut it and use it, because I still can't find actual fabric that I can cut up. I did find a courtly check, but it's a bigger check, and it doesn't go with when you're having to cut something small, because you're going to cut away the check look. So this Harlequin works perfect. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I would come in and just kind of put this together, making a dart, if you will, okay? And just glue it onto, and when I say glue, I mean a very, very small dab. And if you didn't want to do that, what you also could do, I just want to get this put together real quick so I can kind of form that dart. Just put the hot glue and then just put it together. Also could use a needle and thread to do this. You don't have to use glue, and just gather it up. Okay, so there you have where it's just a little bit gathered or put together, if you will. And what I'll do, if you just wanted to put this down like, you know, like you would scrapbook paper. And I don't care that it's not covering the whole ear, okay? I just want the look of this to be on this lamb to give it that Mackenzie child feel. That's all I'm going for, okay? I'll tell you what, that stuff's old, but boy, it's sticking to my fingers. Oh my gosh. And I'm doing this to show you, but I mean, you have where you can just take your time. If you want to do a running stitch and gather this part up here, you know, go for it. Okay, I'm going to unstick my hands and then I'll be right back. And like in the picture in her catalog, she has some of her sheep and the whole face is covered, you know, if you will, with that. You know, I'm not going to do that. And I don't want to do that because I love that sweet little face. But what I am going to do is I looked at the nose and I thought, you know what, I could just make a little nose. Do you see that? How I took a pencil and I just sketched in. So I'm going to cut this and see how it looks. And I just made this from the ribbon. I wish they had this little of a check in fabric. But then again, maybe I don't, because I'd be going nuts making stuff. Okay. So you can't see the whole courtly check on there, but that's okay. I'm just going to, again, I'm just dabbing a little bit of this hot glue, and it's just going to go right there. Okay, and then for the little hoofs or leg, that's the hoof, right? The leg, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, what I'm going to do there is I'm not going to cover it, you know, cover the whole thing, because again on hers I believe the whole thing is covered. But I'm again just going to give a little bit of the look by just putting it down at the bottom. Again, just giving that feel. And I'll do the seam to the back. And I'm just going to glue the ribbon onto itself so I can just cut it off if I don't want to keep it. Because there may come a time I don't want this courtly check on there. Maybe I'll want some shabby chic looking ribbon. And while I'm at that, saying that, not everyone's going to like Mackenzie Child, okay? And I understand that. I understand that completely. If you don't, what I'm doing here, you could do with, let's say, some really pretty floral ribbon, if you're really into shabby chic or English country. Same method. I mean, it's the same concept, except you're using a different kind of ribbon or fabric, or tissue paper for that matter. I just so happen to like the Mackenzie Child this year, you know. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish these, and then I'll come back and I might add a bow or two. Okay, so let's look at what I did here. I went ahead and I took the ribbon and just cut it, made a little template and put it onto the ears and just glued it at the very tip, and then I just put the little fur over it, and then took a little piece and put it on the nose, then took some of the ribbon of the courtly check and made a bow, and then down here on the little legs just put some more of that courtly check. So there you go. There is your Mackenzie Child inspired little sheep. Didn't take much, it changes the whole look. So there is our first project. Let's go on to the next. This guy I've had probably 20 years. And he's cracked, his ear has a crack. I don't care. I want to keep him. I decorate with bunnies on a yearly basis. But for Easter and spring right now, I just wanted to add a little bit more of the Mackenzie child to this, okay? And you'll see in my tour how I have all of this put into my home. So what I did is I just took some of the polka dot material, and this is in the fabric department. Get it when it's half off. And I just made a bow and then tied the harlequin around it and glued it. And this can be taken off. It can be ripped right off and cleaned off, and you can start new and do something different. So what I'm going to do now is I just want to come around and I just want to add just a little bit of the ribbon around his neck, okay? And I'm just going to glue the piece underneath, okay? So I'm just going to take that hot glue right there, around to this side and do the same thing. For the sake of time, I went ahead and made the bow and put it on the big bow because we have two other things that we're making. Okay. And there you have a completely different look for this sweet little bunny that I have had forever and don't want to part with. See? Okay, number 3. This I got at Hobby Lobby 2 years ago. And I love it. And it really, for the most part, this is working really well for me without doing a whole lot. It's got the black and the gold, which Mackenzie Child has. And they're kind of a cream color, which is no big deal. But the bow, I don't like the bow. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take that right off. And we're going to make a different bow. So, because I have the polka dot for the white bunny that we just saw, and the courtly check for the other one that we saw, I might, thinking here, I think I might go ahead, I don't know if that would be too big. I'm going to try this and see this stripe. Might be too big. I may have to go with one of the littler ones. But maybe. No, I don't like it. What to do? What to do? Decisions. I like the polka dot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I looped it like you saw, okay? As you all know, I am not a bow maker. I've never claimed to be, I never will. But I just do the best I can. Take a different ribbon, and I think I'm going to use, I wonder if I should use the harlequin or the courtly check. Yeah, I'm going to use the courtly check. And I'm just going to come around and tie it. Now you're not going to be able to see me tie it because I don't think the camera's going to show it. But I'm just tying You could use wire, you could use a Chanel stem. If I had one down here, I would just use a Chanel stem. Okay, so there's that. Now you just kind of fluff that out a little bit. Bring that back over here. And there you go. Okay, so we went from that to that. And I think I'll just keep that. What do you think? All right, let's go on to number 4. Okay, for this one, what I've done is I've taken 2 Dollar Tree, and these are kind of a narrow candle, and that's okay. But what I'm doing is I took, and remember this when you're doing something, if you need a pattern for something, and I needed a pattern so I could see how wide to cut my tissue paper. You can use fabric, you can use tissue paper, scrapbook paper, whatever you want. But what I did, not with this one. You don't want to do that if you want it for a pattern. But with the other candle, I very, very carefully undid the wrapping that was around it. And this is what I used for my pattern. And just took a pencil and traced around the tissue paper. Okay, and then cut it. And because Mackenzie Child, I mean, her patterns are just so everywhere. I mean, she mix and matches everything. So I couldn't decide if I wanted stripes or polka dot. And like I said, you could have used the scrapbook paper and covered it in this courtly check. You most certainly could, you know. I mean, there's nothing saying you couldn't. I chose, though, to stick with the tissue paper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decide where I want my seam, and the seam, of course, will be in the back. So I'm just going to come down, and again, because this is wax, it's hard to have it stick really well if you glue right onto it. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, what you could do too is you could take Mod Podge, because I've done that with other candles, okay? I have done it with these candles, and I did those last year. I did those for Easter. And these, see, I put a little bit of twine and then ribbon and then a paper flower. So, and these are so inexpensive. I made these permanent because $1, okay, let's say it cost me probably $1, well, I'll say $1.50 for both of these candles. So I'm not worried about taking this off. I'll just have a collection of candles. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue, hot glue, and I'm just going to glue this seam. Like if you're wrapping a present, right? Same thing, same concept. Make sure you have your paper where you want it. Go underneath here. And there you go. You have a Mackenzie Child candle. I can't say for sure how much. I want to say they're like $60, $70, some $100. I think I'll just use tissue paper and a Dollar Tree candle. I love you, Mackenzie Child, but I don't love your prices. Okay, let's do the stripe one now. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to do one stripe, one polka dot. Why not? Okay. Okay. Mackenzie Child inspired candles. Now, if you wanted to add a ribbon, you could certainly do that. And I would definitely do different patterns on them. Okay, you could do that. I'm going to leave mine the way they are. But how cute is that? And like I said, you could Mod Podge them right onto this, okay? Add whatever you want to it. Don't add anything to it. Whatever you like, you do. It's yours, okay? So I'm going to bring everything back and we're going to look at it once again. Okay, so let's get closer, and here is what we did to change our Hobby Lobby sign. And it worked really well because of, look at this welcome. Couldn't be more perfect because of the black and the gold, right? Well, I just wanted something that said, Mackenzie Child, I love you. No. So here's the sign from Hobby Lobby. All I did is added a bow. Then let's go over to this adorable little sheep and just added some ribbon to the ears, made a nose out of the ribbon, another ribbon tied around the neck, and then the little feet with some more ribbon that can be taken off. It isn't glued onto the body. It was glued onto itself, and the ears was just a tiny little dab that can be taken off very easily. And then over here are candles, just Dollar Tree candles in tissue paper. And then up here, my sweet little bunny that I've had forever, just added a cute bow with a two different kinds of ribbon. And there you go. Guys, I hope that you'll look around your house, see what you can revamp, get some tissue paper, get some ribbon, and have fun. You guys, did you love it? It doesn't have to be Mackenzie Child. If you don't care for the Mackenzie Child, if you like shabby chic, get a floral ribbon. If you like whimsical, get polka dot ribbon with different colors. Whatever you like. Just take whatever you see on DIYs and put your own spin on it. That's what it's all about. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did, and I love the way it looks. Until we get together again, remember the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.